Ever thought about creating culinary magic in your kitchen with your own homemade seafood soup? It's an idea that may sound challenging initially, but it opens a gateway to an exciting world of flavors. Visualize owning a soup filled with the aroma of the ocean, a soup that not only satisfies your taste buds but also mentally transports you to the beach with its distinctive taste. This video will walk you through a detailed procedure to craft this extraordinary soup right at your place. It's a voyage of invention and exploration, a journey that will elevate you from the ordinary to the enchanting. From choosing the appropriate ingredients, prepping the seafood, incorporating herbs and spices, to simmering and serving, we will cover everything. So, are you prepared to unleash your culinary skills and dive into an unprecedented DIY endeavor? By the time this video ends, you will have a special homemade seafood soup ready for tasting. Creating seafood soup begins with understanding and gathering the right ingredients. We start with a soup base. This is the foundation of our soup, providing the depth of flavor we all love. Next up, seafood. Not only will this give our soup a rich taste, but it also carries numerous health benefits. Then we have the herbs and spices. This is where the sea and seafood soup comes alive. Herbs and spices are rich in flavor and aroma, adding a touch of luxury to our soup. Vegetables are next on our list. They not only make our soup hearty, but they also have nutritional benefits. Onion for sweetness, or perhaps carrots for a bit of crunch. The choice is yours. Lastly, we need a pot. This will be where our soup comes together. You can choose any design that tickles your fancy. Now, with our ingredients ready, it's time to start the soup making process. The foundation of our seafood soup is the soup base. Now let's dive into the process of preparing it. The first thing we need to do is chop the vegetables into small, manageable pieces. This helps to ensure that the vegetables will cook evenly and smoothly. So grab your vegetables and a sharp knife and start chopping. Aim for pieces about 1 inch in size, but don't worry too much about precision. What's most important is to make each piece roughly the same size. Once you've got your vegetables chopped, it's time to sauté them. For this, we'll use a pot. If you're not familiar with sautéing, it's essentially a technique where the vegetables are cooked on medium heat with a bit of oil. The idea is to gently cook the vegetables without direct contact with high heat. Place your vegetables into the pot and start the heat on medium. The vegetables should start to soften slowly. Stir them occasionally to help them along and ensure even cooking. This is a process you don't want to rush. If the vegetables get too soft, they can lose their texture, which we definitely don't want. As the vegetables begin to soften, keep a close eye on the consistency. What we're aiming for is a completely softened but not mushy mixture. But remember, we don't want it to reach a boiling point. If you see the vegetables starting to stick, lower the heat. The key here is patience. The vegetables should be soft and fragrant, but not burnt. That's it. You've successfully prepped your soup base. It's soft, aromatic, and ready to transform into our fabulous seafood soup. It might seem simple, but this step is essential to the soup-making process and sets the stage for everything that follows. With our soup base ready, we move on to the next step, adding our seafood. The uniqueness of our seafood soup comes from the seafood we add. Now we're ready to take the plunge and dive into the heart of our soup-making process. What makes our soup truly seafood? It's the invigorating shrimp, the nourishing clams, the succulent crab. Let's start with the shrimp. You might be wondering, why shrimp? Well, besides adding a touch of the ocean to our soup, shrimp is known for its delicious taste, adding a depth of flavor to our soup. To incorporate the shrimp, we're going to gently add it into our soup base. Remember, we're not making a sea storm here, so add gradually and stir gently. This ensures the shrimp is evenly distributed throughout the soup, creating a balanced flavor experience with every spoonful. Next, we move on to our clams and crab. Packed with sea-loving nutrients like vitamins and minerals, they're known for their unique oceanic flavor. To add the clams and crab, we're going to slowly introduce them into our soup base. Again, stirring gently is the key here. We want to make sure the seafood is evenly distributed, so every bowl of our soup can give you that savory, oceanic effect. And there you have it. We've now added the essence of the sea to our soup base. But we're not done yet. As we stir, we allow the shrimp, clams, and crab to mingle with the soup base, creating a fusion of sea and flavors. The result? A soup that's not just warming but also nourishing and satisfying. The seafood is now part of our soup base. Next, we add some aroma. After all, what's a trip to the sea without the refreshing scent of the ocean breeze? A good soup not only satisfies but also leaves a pleasant aroma. This is where our versatile herbs and spices come into play. Herbs and spices carry the essence of their fragrance and they're known for their health benefits. Now, onto the fun part, adding these aromatic herbs and spices to our seafood soup mixture. As we introduce these, we're not just infusing our soup with a delightful scent, but also enhancing its health benefits. How much should we add, you ask? Well, it depends on the strength of the flavor you prefer. But remember, it's always better to start small and add more if needed. Now let's talk about our choice of herbs and spices. For our seafood soup, we're looking at a blend of bay leaves, thyme, and paprika. Think of a fresh sea breeze with a hint of earthiness and a subtle undertone of heat. Sounds delightful, doesn't it? We slowly stir our blend into the soup mixture, ensuring it's evenly distributed. We're careful not to rush this process. Patience is key here to keep the integrity of our flavors intact. And there we have it. Our seafood soup mixture is now fragrant and ready to be simmered. The aroma of herbs and spices fills the air, a promise of a warming, aromatic dining experience to come. The final step in making seafood soup is simmering and serving. This is where your soup finally starts taking shape, quite literally. Once you've infused the herbs and spices and added the seafood, your soup mixture should be ready for the simmer. Now, gently let your soup mixture simmer. Be sure to move slowly and steadily to avoid boiling, which could affect the taste of your soup. Once you've let the soup simmer, give it a taste. Then comes the waiting game. Your soup needs time to let the flavors meld. This can take anywhere from a few minutes to a few hours, depending on your taste preference. Patience is key here. Once you believe your soup has simmered enough, it's time to serve. Ladle the soup into bowls, making sure to distribute the seafood evenly. Remember to handle your soup with care. It might be hot, but it's also delicate. And just like that, you've created your very own seafood soup. Now, isn't that something to be proud of?